6 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark, and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
Good evening, everybody. It's Mark Klein hanging out with you. Welcome to another Long Island Blues Warehouse, EKO Studios, Deer Park, New York. As always, the official studio of the Blues Warehouse, and welcome. Tonight, we're talking to a band that started in 2005. These boys have played anywhere from New York City's Cutting Room to the Mystic Film Festival, to the Great South Bay Music Festival, and many other gigs in between. These guys collectively have played with Cyndi Lauper, Jay Giles, Muddy Waters, just to name a few. This week's featured artist, please help me welcome the Red, White, and Blues Band.
Checking up on my baby, find out what she been putting down. Checking up on my baby, find out what she been putting down. So many nights and days I've been living in this town. My baby don't even write, she don't make no telephone call. she been putting down. Checking up on my baby. Find out what she been putting down. Been so many nights and days I've been living in this town.
Oh, yeah. This week's featured artist, the Red, Whites, and Blues Band. Thank you, Rick Z. Well done, my man. Well done. Let me start with you on that mic, if I can, for a minute.
Yeah, baby.
First of all, welcome to the Blues Warehouse.
Thank you for having us.
I saw you boys over the summer at the IBC International Blues Challenge competition.
Yeah.
Very bummed that you guys did not go down to represent Long Island in that.
They were, it was what it was. We did the best we could.
With what you had to work with.
right.
And Lord have mercy, it was a lot to work with.
A lot to work with.
And you know what? I'm just thrilled and blessed to have you boys on this stage, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Good way to come out of the gate, real strong, I got to start by saying. Let's talk about some history. This band, first of all, has been around since 2005.
Right.
Were you a part of the band?
No, I wasn't a part. I came, my partner Ted joined the band, about 2-3 years ago? Ted's been with him for a while. And then he said, hey, why don't you come on out and jam?
Check out this project I'm involved in.
Yeah, he did this project, and we basically got together and we loved each other and did our thing.
You guys clicked real quick, I'm guessing.
We clicked real quick.
The way we just witnessed just now.
Yeah, and we're it's rocking. It's rocking.
Extreme chemistry. Extreme chemistry. Let's talk about when you began singing. Were you singing junior high and high school days to live audiences?
I was playing drums back in Pittsburgh.
You started with the kid.
I was playing drums. Came up. Teddy they had a little band, like kind of an Eagle-y type blues thing. I came up and was playing the drums, and that band didn't happen. We kind of did our own quartet thing, and then when we started playing down by CB's, Gildersleeves, that whole thing in the city at that time. I came and they couldn't see me singing because I was playing drums, so they said, "Come on out." We got a guy named Mike Fink on drums. I came out front. Boom, we became 3D. We got a deal down at Gildersleeves. I went on the road with Jay Giles, the Cars. Eddie Money, the Ramones, who were good friends of ours. So Ted and I have been together about 35 years.
No kidding.
At this juncture, yeah.
Great history, my man.
A little quick,
Great history. The stories you could probably tell.
Oh, forget it.
Did you play worldwide, or was it strictly the U.S.?
We did the Love Stinks tour with Jay Giles, which was all North America, and then we broke off that tour. Did the Cars, which was the Good Times Roll tour, and then we did some Eddie Money. Then we did Saturday Night Live with Steve Martin as the host, and McCartney was in London. We were here doing all-night television, and things were starting to take off. But Polygram, our label, ended up going bankrupt in Deutsche Grammophon in Europe, so we didn't get the support for our second album, even though we did it. So we were poised, but it was like one of those unfortunate things. So Ted and I kind of invested in some studios, and we got some studio stuff going, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Are you doing any other... Are you involved in any other projects musically other than these boys? Are you playing with other guys, or is this strictly...
Sometimes there's jams that go on.
You'll do the jams.
But we're really all...
This is the primary project for you.
This is our project. We have a new album coming out. Our new CD, the Red, White, and Blues All-American, is coming out. So we're really focusing on this, and we're going to get some airplay and start rocking around and get the thing pushed.
I got to tell you, there's a guy here on Long Island, guitar player, that bought a limited edition Les Paul guitar, a 58, from Jay Giles in 1970.
Really?
He paid $3,000 for it. Thought he overpaid. Just sold it 2 years ago for over $200.
Oh, God.
And he left about $100 on the table, I'm told.
Unbelievable.
Speaking of Jay Giles, so I had to share that with you.
Yeah,
I had to share that with you. Great history, man. Are you still friends with those boys at all today?
Actually, they're playing this week. I'm going to give them I know a couple of the guys around them. We're going to call them. We haven't hung with them a while, but it's going to be great to see them. I think we're going to go out and see them. Night Bob's a good friend. He's the sound guy.
Sure.
All the stuff.
I'd like to make that show myself, so you get up there and jam with them if that's possible.
We'll see.
How cool would that be?
Well, that would be because we do nighttime together. I don't know. That would be great. I love to do that.
Very cool. Rick Zibik on vocals. I appreciate it, my man.
Thank you, man.
Let me grab the guitar player to your left, if I can, Mr. Greg Delapi. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing great.
Welcome to the show, my man.
Thanks for having us.
You and your brother Frank, on the drums, of course, started this project back in 2005.
Yeah, it was. It all started right after one of our good buddies, one of our brothers, passed away, and we actually put a benefit together, to raise some money for his family.
Who are we talking about?
This guy's name was Tom DiStefano. He was a player with us. He played with us for years and years. So we grew up together, and it was a tragic story how he passed away. But his family needed some money.
A Long Island guy?
Yeah.
The name sounds very familiar.
Yeah. He used to play with us back in the day with Saucy Touch and with Cyndi Lauper and all those guys. And right after that, we started playing again, and the rest is history. We just put it together, and it's evolved into this.
Let me grab some history out of you real quick if I can. Let's talk about when you picked one of those up for the first time.
Oh.
What age?
Oh, I was 9 years old when I started playing.
What was the influence?
Oh, Elvis.
Okay.
And the Beatles, obviously.
The Beatles. Ed
for
Sullivan, if I had to
Oh,
guess.
my God, yes. And the Stones.
Those guys grabbed it for you.
Absolutely.
So you're taking lessons at age 9?
Yes, $3 a half an hour, once a week.
You remember that?
I remember my grandma kicking my ass, just sitting there making sure I practiced every day.
Doing the scales, right?
Alfred's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Wow, the good old days.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
How old are you when you're involved in a project playing to live audiences?
Oh,
You remember that first experience?
14.
Age 4, junior high days.
Yeah. We were doing a lot
Like
of
Battle of the Band stuff or
we
illegally
used to-
underage in bars?
Well, that too, strip joints and
No kidding.
stag shows at 16. But we used to do a lot of church dances. Back in the day, that was pretty popular. It's like Battle of the Bands. And
Sure.
Matter of fact, Eddie's band was Albion at the day, and we used to do. They would play, and our band would play. So it was a lot of fun.
A nice highlight for you, as you mentioned earlier, playing with Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
How'd you get that opportunity?
Oh God, Cindy. Neighborhood. Well, basically, Frank was working in a pizza joint. We had a disco band back in the day, and we were looking for another female singer. We put a sign up in the restaurant, in the pizza joint. She came in one day, bought a slice, saw the sign, showed up. And
We're talking about before the MTV days, I'm guessing.
Oh, this is back in
70s?
1970.
Late 70s.
75, I
Okay,
guess.
mid-70s.
76. Yeah.
Bicentennial time frame.
Yep.
How long did that project last?
3 years, I guess. 3.5, 4, 5 years, maybe. I don't know.
Love to hear some of those
I forget-
recordings.
Yeah. Oh, I got some of the old
You
the
gotta
old
pull
tapes
some of
at
that out.
home.
I'd love to hear it, man. I'd love
Lady
to hear
Marmalade.
it. Oh, God, I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was good.
So what are you doing after that project? What are you doing early 80s, mid-80s musically?
Actually, after kind of stopped playing for a while.
Little
and-
hiatus?
Yeah. We used to, get together in the studio and just jam with the guys. I always continued playing, basically in the basement. We get together every couple of months. But it was kind of like a long break for a long time. We did some other recording. We went into the studio. We made a couple of recordings, but never really went anywhere. And it was kind of like quiet until like 2005. That's when we really started kicking up again. So kids got older, got some time to play. Work slowed down a little bit.
So it's a good time to jump back in.
Good time to jump back in.
Well,
Just having fun.
You guys are having the ball, and I'm having a ball watching you guys do your thing. I say we put you boys back to work.
Yeah.
Let's get into a couple more tunes. We'll come back later and chat with some of these other fine players. What are we doing next, Rick?
What are we doing? Walking by myself, baby.
You guys good? You good to go?
Yeah, we're good.
Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, we are going to keep it moving with the Red, White, and Blues Band.
You know I love you. You know it's true. Gonna give you my love, baby. What more can I do? I'm walking by myself. I hope you'll understand. I just wanna be your loving man. Love you. Yes, I love you with my heart and soul. Won't mistreat you for my waiting gold. You know I love you. You know it's true. Gonna give you my love, baby. What more can I do? Walking by myself, I hope loving man. Whoa!
Hi, this is Christine, and you're listening to the Long Island Blues Warehouse.
An original No Good Lazy Man.
Told her that I'm leaving, didn't give a damn. She said that I ain't nothing but a no good lazy man, is what she said. So I walk on past the TV, skip on down the hall, find me in a motel room, having me a bar, where you can take a satin jacket, put on your ripped up jeans, but it was like yesterday. It don't look like you used to. Now you got bills to pay. Yes, you do. Take a satin jacket, put on your ripped up jeans. I'll see you at the counter at the local Dairy Queen. Well, I'll see you at the courthouse when you come to understand. You can't get much of nothing from an old lazy man. But you can't get much of nothing from an old lazy man. Woo! Come on, guys. No good lazy man. Okay, Greggy. Lazy man. How? I'll say it. I ain't no good for nothing. You say, oh yeah. So I walk on past the TV, skip on down the hall, find me in a motel room, having me a ball. You can take me at the courthouse, you come to understand. You can't get much of nothing from a lonely lazy man. No, you can't get much of nothing from a lonely lazy man. No, you can't get much of nothing from a lonely lazy man. Huh. Come on, guys. Lazy man. How? No. I'm a lazy, lazy, lazy man.
this week's featured artist, the Red, White, and Blues Band. Well done, gentlemen, as always. Well done. Thank you, guys. Let me grab Ed Wenzel on the bass, if we'll head up to a mic. How you doing, Ed?
Good, Mark. How you doing?
Good to see you, my man. How's everything?
Hey, everything is great.
I think the headband is working.
Yeah, I'm trying.
I know it was a question earlier. It's working, my man.
Yeah.
You rocked that thing.
Thank you.
Red would have been cool.
I was going in. I had a red
You got a nice
one.
pink one down here.
Yeah. Hey, Mark, come on. You know?
That's all right.
I'm trying to channel my Jack Cassidy.
I
I'm a big
appreciate-
fan.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's talk about some history. Let's talk about when you began musically. How old were you when you picked up the bass?
Like 15.
What made you decide that was a direction you were going to head into in life?
Well, sort of Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, and all the guys had instruments. So we were like, yeah, we want to start a band. It's like a clique. And they were like, okay, we got a couple of guitar players. You're going to play bass. I was like, all right.
So you kind of got pushed into it.
Yeah.
Were you comfortable with that, or did you have your eye on another instrument?
Yeah, it was easier. Channel.
All right, I can dig that.
All right.
What age are you when you pick one of these up for the first time?
15, 16
for you
yeah.
as well. You taking lessons? You self-taught?
Took a couple lessons, just, you divine things and you pick up woodshedding, all sorts of influences, and that's what I did.
Pay your dues, man.
Yeah.
Just get in there and build those calluses.
Yeah, and the big thing was I was like, it was different back in the day. I'm a little older, so I would like, a singer I was playing with at the time was an usher at the Fillmore.
What age are you at this
Same
point?
thing, 15,
Okay,
16.
okay.
He was a little older. I would get in like front stage, and see like all these great guys and bands, and I'd be like in awe of them, and checking them out. But the airplane was special because, they were so cool and they play all night and jam, and Jack is just a great bass player.
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Great teacher to have, man. Mm-hmm. Great beginning for you. Let's talk about this band started in 2005. When did you join this project?
About 2005.
You were one of the founding members?
Yeah, what happened was it's an interesting dichotomy in that Greg talked to you earlier with Cindy, and they had a sort of disco band, which, okay, it's enough said, right? So we would all hang out as friends. We were in the neighborhood, and Cindy and their band parted ways, and we were into rocking. She wanted to rock out a little more, and we actually hooked up with her after the Brothers.
Okay.
And we did the circuit, like with, Twisted Sister and everybody would fly her. We used to be all over the place.
Very cool. And listen, not that I want to defend disco by any stretch of the imagination. I got a cousin in England that's a studio session drummer. He played with Gary Moore, played with ELO.
Oh, okay.
Played with David Bowie. Plays in a disco band in England today because it pays the bills.
That's right.
He hates it,
Hey,
but it pays the bills.
So
I can appreciate that. We had Brian Bassett in here, who plays with a guitar player for Foghat today,
oh yeah,
who used to play with Wild Cherry.
sure. We've
And-
jammed with Roger Earl.
And they play, and he did disco stuff in the 70s. He hated it,
Yeah.
but it paid the bills. So, in the defense of disco, it had its purpose for players, I guess,
Especially for bass, the four beats.
even if you didn't appreciate it fully. So,
And how hard is it for drummers?
don't quit that day job, my man.
There you go.
Ed Wenzel on the bass, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Let me grab Steve Greenbaum on the harp if he'll make his way up to, jump up to Rick's mic if you would.
He's so tall.
How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing great. How you doing? We're having a
Love the
blast.
dynamic with the harp, man. Let's
Thank
talk
you,
about
thank you.
when you began.
I started same like everybody else, 15, 16, picked one up after hearing like John Mayall and Port Butterfield that back in the day.
Those guys grabbed
that
you.
Chicka Chicka stuff from John Mayall.
Those were the influences.
That was great.
Were you passionate about it?
I was passionate. Then I started hearing about Chicago blues, Muddy Waters, and people like Little Walter and stuff like that.
Sure.
Changed the whole dynamic of harmonica player.
And your line of thinking with it too, I would imagine.
Yeah, no, I'm still a Chicago blues player at heart.
You can definitely hear the influence
Thank
in
you,
you.
thank you.
Let's talk about how long you've been with this project.
Well, I've probably been with these guys for 5 years. One of the cousins of the Brothers introduced me to the guys, and I came down for a little jam. Next thing I know, I'm in the band, and it's been amazing ever since.
What were you doing musically before the Red, White, and Blues Band?
So I was in a band called the Tash Brothers Band that still plays out once in a while. It's more like a carnival pickup band, and we've been doing that since probably I've been 18 years old. We've been playing all over the place. So we had a lot of fun, but we don't play regularly. We get together on birthdays and special occasions and funerals and stuff like that.
I got you. I got you.
But we do that, It's more, we got to liven it up a little, so we do that. So we still play every once in a while. We've done the New York Marathon for 23 years in a row and stuff like that.
Very cool.
Yeah,
very
very
cool.
fun.
You make a great fit to this project, man.
Thank you.
Great added dynamic to the project.
I love it.
Keep going strong, man.
Thank you,
Steve
brother.
Greenbaum on the harp. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Gadz, Steve, you got something else you wanted to mention?
Yeah, Steve's
I'm
being
sorry,
a-
Ed, rather, Ed.
Yeah, that's okay. Steve's being a little modest. He also worked for SIR.
Oh, yeah.
And
SIR
was out with-
Studios?
Oh, yeah.
Was out with Garland Jeffries,
New
and
York
his
City.
big influence was one of the few guys work with Miles Davis.
Yeah, I did that.
No kidding.
Yeah, but that's way back.
Who cares? Great history, my man. Great
is,
history.
right?
And what'd you do with SIR Studios in
Well,
the city?
I started out as just a guy schlepping equipment, then I ended up being a roadie, and I ended up having to do a little stage sound stuff, and it was a lot of fun.
The first interview, I've interviewed Johnny Winter 3 times in 20 years. My very first interview with him
at
15
SIR?
years ago was at SIR
What
Studios.
a great place to grow up. It was great. It was
I
a
got
lot
some
of
great pictures of me and Johnny at SIR.
good. What a
And when
great
you
place.
and the interview that I played, I won't play for anybody because he was just a mess. But then the guy that got up on the stage wasn't the same guy.
Right,
It's
right,
like somebody
right.
through a switch.
Beautiful.
And he was amazing. He was
SIR
amazing.
was an amazing.
Tremendous.
like a museum.
Ed, did you have something else you wanted to add?
Yeah, you brought that up. Just like with the Cindy connection and everything.
Yes.
I know what you're talking about. I don't want to hog the limelight. But from that connection, I was at the Saints and Sinners sessions with Johnny and Rick. Rick produced the album.
Sure.
Johnny was doing the overdubs at the record plant, and I'm hanging out. And it was like a summer night. And no one wanted to say nothing, but Johnny's got a trench coat. He's got his hat on. The studio, as you may know, is really hot. Rick's looking at him. Me and my friend are looking at him, and we're like thinking, he's got to be god awful hot, man. What's going on with him? So finally, Rick Derringer went, Johnny, what's up with the whole outfit? And he goes, hey, man, I just wanted to be comfortable. And he pulls it off, and he had like pink hot pants on and a little. So that was the thing I had with Saints and Sinners.
Very cool, Ed. Good story, man. I appreciate that. Steve, great story for you, my man.
Thank you.
Great job, great dynamic with this project. Thank you so much.
a lot of fun.
Let's get into another one, boys. Let's keep it moving. What are we doing next, Rick?
We're going to do a song from one of our idols. We idolize him a lot. He's a great singer, Ray Charles. It's a song called Georgia.
You good to go?
Yep, ready to go.
Once again on the Long Island Blues Warehouse, let's keep it moving with the Red, White, and Blues Band.
My Uncle Sid did the arrangement to this for Ray Charles, and he was the arranger and conductor for 25 years.
That's right.
Thanks, Uncle Sid.
Georgia, I said Georgia, the whole day through comes an old sweet song. It keeps Georgia on my mind. Yeah, I said Georgia, Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pine. Georgia. No peace I find. It's just like an old sweet song. It keeps Georgia on my mind. Ooh, yeah. You know, other arms reach out to me. Other eyes smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. And I say now, oh, Georgia, oh, Georgia, no peace I find. Just an old sweet song, baby, keeps Georgia on my mind. Yeah, it's an old sweet song, baby. Oh yeah, keeps Georgia on my mind. Oh yeah.
This week's featured artist, the Red, White, and Blues Band. Well done, Rick. As always, my man. Thank you so much. Let me grab on the keys, Teddy Wender. How you doing,
How are
Teddy?
you, man?
It's good to see you, man.
Nice to be here.
Before we begin with you, let's talk about Uncle Sid for a minute.
Let's talk about Uncle Sid.
Let me explain to us who Uncle Sid was, please.
Sid Feller, best arranger in the world, did all the strings for Georgia, Yesterday, all the most famous Ray Charles. He was his conductor, his eyes. He trusted his eyes to Uncle Sid.
His band director?
Conductor, arranger,
Conductor,
producer.
arranger, producer. Very nice.
Shows his songs.
And an actual uncle of yours?
My wife's uncle. But,
Your wife's uncle. Very
but,
cool, man. Very cool.
Been married for 35 years. So.
God bless. God bless,
It's
man.
Uncle Sid. Uncle Sid. Uncle Sid.
I'm guessing Ray Charles was a big influence of yours on top of with many others.
I've met Ray Charles.
You've met him.
Met him. Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
Was thrilled to meet him and worked with a lot of heavy people over the days. I've been a Long Islander playing rock and roll since I've been 13, and we took a garage band and went to Polydor with it, and then we took it around the world, and then we built the studio, and we have one of the most famous hip-hop studios in the city. At night, in the daytime, me and Rick use it for our own projects, and at night, it's the home to every hip-hop guy in New York.
Very cool.
So,
They all did it there. Lil Kim.
we've been very lucky, and
Just to name a few, I'm sure.
when we did, me and Rick have done a lot of TV shows together, and we have a TV show.
Saturday Night Live.
Well, besides that, we've done the music for
That's a good one.
lots of cartoons and lots of.
Throw some
Saturday
examples of
night-
some cartoons at us.
Oh God, it's
Well, we did Overhaul on Discovery Network. I produced that, and then we did all the music for it. We did all the post. We have like 280 cues that we
we had
wrote.
a kids show named
5 years.
Bingo and Molly that was on for
Say the name of that show again.
Bingo and Molly. Probably the worst TV show.
It sounds
ever.
familiar.
The thing is, though, we got a Grammy nomination for it. So. But Tony Bennett was also nominated that year, so we knew we weren't going to have a shot. But at least he got nominated.
Just to be at the dance, I guess. Pretty
yeah,
cool.
you know, it was fun.
We've been very
Let's
lucky.
let's
and
talk about the history. Let's talk about when you began. How old were you when you got behind one
I
of
was
these?
14. I used to take the train to Flushing to buy blues albums. Man, I was they didn't have them in Little Neck, you know. So I had to take the train to Flushing, and I found B.B. King and Albert King. And later on in life, I was able to actually play with Albert and did 2 weeks with him in Atlanta.
Did a little touring with them.
Little tour.
How'd you get that? How'd that opportunity come about?
I was working with a guy named Bill Chinook, who was a really good blues guy from Maine, and we ended up working down at a place called Richards, and spent 2 weeks listening to Albert, and then he asked me to join the band. So that was probably one of my best compliments, man. But I also wrote 2 hits for the Memphis Horns and the Doobie Brothers.
What songs?
Get Up and Dance and What the Funk. And if you saw the Doobie Brothers during the 1980s, you heard those songs. And what else have we done, Rick? We've done a lot of shit.
Teddy, that's pretty cool,
We've
man.
done almost every toy commercial out there.
Right now we're doing our own thing. I've done 5 albums in the last 4 years called Teddy Wender and Jazzmatic. And then I met these guys. And
How long have you been a part of this project?
About a year and a half. And I produced their first album, which is coming out any minute now. And Red, White, and Blues Band, best blues band in New York. We are the New York.
And you're not just saying that because you're part of it.
Well, I love New York. New York is where the real, as far as I'm concerned, the real blues. The New York blues is a combination of all the blueses from all over the world. Delta, Chicago, St. Louis, they're all here in New York.
If you like the blues,
I think we can.
Let's go.
I'd like to go so far as to say out of the thousands of blues bands I've worked with in 25 years, you could count on one hand one of the top bands in the studio tonight. That's where I'd like to go with that, if that's okay.
Thank you very much.
Tremendous project.
It's a pleasure to be
Great
here.
dynamic to this project, my man.
Thank you, buddy.
Teddy Wender on the keys, I thank you so much. We could probably do a whole show just on you and Rick, but the hour's moving, so let me bring it over to Frank DeLappy on the kit if I can. How you doing, Frank?
I'm doing good back here.
Frank's our manager.
Frank manages the project.
This is rare.
Yes, he does.
Me having a mic, this is rare.
That's a bit of an anomaly for you, huh?
Dangerous.
Don't let him sing? No, you don't let him sing. I'm going to listen to him talk for a few minutes.
There you go.
First thing I want to ask you, if I can, is let's talk about when you got behind the kit for the first time. You started in the womb, I'm guessing.
A long time ago.
You started at a young age?
Second grade.
Second grade.
Second grade.
What did it for you? What was the influence for you?
Gene Cooper, Buddy Rich, early on.
Gene Cooper, Buddy Rich.
And then,
Who would you say after Buddy?
After Buddy Rich, I would say it was Charlie Watts and Dave Clark.
Very cool, man.
So
Very
I love
cool.
that kind of sound in that band.
So
Later on in life, now it's Steve Gadz, one of my personal.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great session player. Weckl, I'm guessing. I hear Weckl in you when I watch you play.
A little bit.
Yeah. Do you ever do clinics? You ever do drum clinics?
No, I haven't.
I can picture you doing that.
You think?
With your.
We'll have to talk to Dennis.
Let's talk to Dennis there at the Drum Center up
That's
there
right.
in.
There you go.
What town are they again? Starts with a P.
Plainview.
That's it.
Yeah,
Plainview. Talk to Dennis up there. I'd love to see you get in there, man. That'd be a great fit for you, doing something like that. This project started in 2005. Let's talk about what you were doing before this project.
Well, before this project, I mean, like my brother, the two of us played in many bands in high school and junior high. We did a whole bunch of proms and all that kind of stuff back in the day. And then we formed Doc West, which was the band with Cyndi Lauper. It was first a disco band. We had a guy and 2 girl singers up front. We played places in Manhattan and Queens, Coventry. We did a night with the New York Dolls back in the day.
No kidding.
Yeah. And yes, we played with Kiss. We played with New York Dolls.
Wait a minute. What'd you do with the band Kiss?
A long time ago. Long time ago.
That song was as big as Teddy's keyboard at that time.
At the Coventry. It was a long time ago. 1974 must have been. They were just coming out. Yeah. The Harlots of 42nd Street were there that night, and a female impersonator by the name Wayne County. Yeah, if anybody remembers him in the day. And this was I connected with him. This was a really wild. Thank you, Rick.
Let's turn Teddy's mic back on the keys.
I just wanted to mention that my family foundation is, for the last 5 years, have been working with the company. Well, we just renamed the company. It's called musiccan.org. And we supply music
Spell that
lessons.
out. Spell that out. Music. C-A-N?
Just music can, just like it sounds.
Okay.
.org. And we supply 4, right now we're doing 4 schools that we do scholarships, music scholarships for in underprivileged areas. And it's growing every year, and we have a lot of new sponsors, and I just want to tell everybody about it because it's important. These kids don't have any exposure to any kind of musical environment at all, and we give them lessons, and it's been a success all around. So it's musiccan.org. We're giving money so these kids can learn how to play rock and roll and jazz and whatever these kids are, whatever they feel.
I'd like to talk to you about that more when we're finished, and
Love
see
to.
if we can join forces on something like that.
Love to
I got a buddy of mine that just ran his very first blues festival in Freeport this past summer. Frank Napoli. It was, and they ran a couple of scholarships. The two programs in the high schools and junior highs that get canceled first with budget cuts are what?
Music.
Arts and music. Right. Arts and music. They just had a couple of scholarships for kids that made blues posters, and they just gave out like $5,000 in scholarships.
These kids have a blues band. They have a surf band. It's unbelievable what's out there.
I love those stories, man. That's something. It sounds like you're getting quite passionate with, and I'm sure it's going to grow every year. And when I get my 2 cents involved with it, I'd like to see it continue to grow.
Excellent.
So I appreciate you sharing that with us tonight, Teddy.
One of the other
Thank
things,
you very much.
This band does a lot of charity work, a real lot of charity work. And as a matter of fact, we just did the cutting room. We did it for the Masons Toys for Tots. January 10th, we're going to be at Connolly's Club 45 in New York, and that's for the Shriners Children's Hospital. If anybody wants to come out, it'll be a great night. And we do a lot of stuff with St. Jude's.
St. Jude's.
Yeah.
Very cool. And as you
Big
guys
contributor
know,
to St. Jude's.
Fridays after my live show at WUSB, I'm over on the pediatric floor at Stony Brook Children's Hospital working with sick kids. And I bring musicians up there every single Friday for 4 years now to put smiles on faces of sick kids that are in no mood to smile. And I'd love to grab some of you guys. I'd like to grab you, Teddy.
We can help
and I got to
you.
grab you, and I got to grab your guitar player. And I can't do the whole band because we go room to room with 2 kids stuck in bed.
No,
Where the musician, but we have a keyboard up there that my piano players use that we put on wheels and go room to room.
I'm there
so
for
you'll
you.
use ours, and I'd love to bring you guys up and some of you guys to make that work. So I appreciate that. Frank, it's great having you on this stage, man.
Thank
got
you
a great
for having
band.
us.
I wish we had more time to talk. We got time for 2 more songs. Let's get into another song, then we'll do our goodbyes, and you boys will play us out. What are we doing next?
We're doing a song, a classic by Muddy Waters called Got My Mojo Working.
Long Island Blues Warehouse, once again, the Red, White, and Blues Band.
Here we go. My mojo working, but it just won't work on you. I got my mojo working, but it just won't work on you. Now, I love you so bad, I don't know what to do. I'm going down to Louisiana, get me a mojo hang. Mojo working. I got my 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 mojo working, but it just won't work on you. Come on, man.
This week's featured artist, the Red, Whites, and Blues Band. Well done, gentlemen, as always. Let's get into some quick goodbyes if we can. I want to start on the keys over here with Mr. Teddy Wender. Teddy, thank you so much.
Thank you. A pleasure.
Great job, my
Pleasure,
man. Back there on the drum kit, Mr. Frank DeLappy. Thank you, Frank. Thank you. Well done, my man. Back there on the other side on the bass, Mr. Ed Wenzel. How you doing, Ed?
Good.
Appreciate
Thank
it
you,
as
Mark.
always. Great job, my man.
Hey, Mark, thanks for having us. You need anything from the band? We'll do it for you. No problem.
Appreciate that. I appreciate that. Let's say goodbye to the guitar player on the end, Mr. Greg DeLappy. Thank you so much, Greg.
Thanks for having us out
Great
here.
job,
Had a
my
great
man.
time.
Great job. Over here on the harp, Mr. Steve Greenbaum.
Hey, thanks for having us. It's been
And last but certainly not least, lead vocals, Rick Zibik.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Rick.
We're here to help you anytime you need it.
Great
Friday
job,
night
my
calls,
man.
we're
I
coming out.
appreciate that. Great job. Great dynamic. Thank you so much for making a great contribution to the Blues Warehouse.
Thank you, guys.
I want to remind everybody to go to EKO Studios at ekoproductions.com. They are the official studio of the Long Island Blues Warehouse. Always remember to check out my live show on Friday mornings from 8 to 10 Eastern Standard Time at 90.1 FM here on Long Island. Outside of the range, WUSB.FM or LIBlues.com. Hit the subscribe link when you go to our webisodes and get the updates and all the notices and all the upcoming shows, like the one that's going to go up this week with the Red, White, and Blues Band. You boys are going to play us out. What are you going to finish up with?
A tune called Nighttime from Jay Giles, one of our premiere. We heard it. How many nights we heard it?
We heard it
5 months.
Couple of
80
million?
nights.
Loved it, man. That was one of our
80
favorite songs.
friggin' nights we heard it.
One more time as we say goodbye, and I thank them one more
Nighttime, baby.
time. Red, White, and Blues Band. Thank you, fellas.
Thank you, man.
Where I get up in the morning, keep the covers from my bed. Sunlight in my eyes, playing games. goes like this. I get up in the morning, kick the covers from my bed. Sometimes in my eye playing games with my head. I work like a dog on a job every day, trying to get some money so I can go and play. In the nighttime, it's the right time, baby. In the nighttime, it's the right time. I wanna be with you in the nighttime. When I come home from work, you know I'm tired of the beat. I jump in the shower and I got one on my feet. I hop in the kitchen, come on, pick up my back. I said, gonna get you, baby, that's a natural fact. In the nighttime, it's the right time, baby. In the nighttime, I said, yeah, it's the right time. I wanna be with you in the nighttime. I wanna be with you in the nighttime. One more time. I wanna be with you in the nighttime. One more time.